We're going to be starting off with episode 2 of Hazbin's Hell, and this episode has 3 songs. I think this is the only episode throughout the whole series that has 3 songs. There's the Serpentious Welcome to Heaven basically songs, which Emily showing Serpentious around, which honestly I did enjoy. I loved that. That was a great song. There's Sarah's Confession, great song also. And then you have Gravity, which you already know. I don't really want to talk too much about Gravity because we already know, and it's nice to get some context about that. Honestly, this episode focuses entirely on heaven. So episode 1 focuses all on hell, and this episode focuses all on heaven. So we get to see all of that. It is nice, but I do hope in future episodes I would believe they're going to show heaven and hell. That episode 3 is probably going to be heaven and hell both, like they're both showing both sides and not just have a whole episode dedicated. But it's also nice we have a whole episode dedicated to heaven again, I guess, right, this early on. I don't know how, we only have 6 episodes left, so I don't know how like the pacing is going to go for the next 6 episodes. But all said and done, I really enjoyed this episode quite a lot. I enjoyed this episode more than I enjoyed the first one because we get to see Serpentious, we get to see what we also get to see the God Speaker, the Speaker of God. So I'm pretty sure VizPop said that they don't have any plans to show God in the actual show. So this is probably the closest thing we're gonna get, the Speaker of God. And she does have I think she does sing in Sarah's Confession, or at least she is there, present there. I thought she would be bad, to be honest. I don't even know if we would get a God Speaker. I don't really keep up stuff if that was revealed or not. But I didn't, if something like that was revealed, I would think there would be some bad overarching thing. But from the way they also mentioned Luke mentioned the exterminating demons, exterminating sinners, she didn't seem to be in the know-how. She said what? I'm pretty sure from my memory, she said like that, and she sounded really surprised, and then they kind of didn't bring it up because Abel kind of distracted Lou and all that. She didn't seem to know of that, and in general, Sarah in general kept it from the Speaker of God. I don't know if she was actually named, but from what I know, she was just called the Speaker of God. So yes, Luke was also trying to convince the other angels to go back there and then destroy the sinners, with her being the leader in charge of the exorcist, which we know Abel's the leader in charge. Also, there's a scene where Abel's basically using Adam's mask, which I thought was kind of nice. I'm warming up to Abel. I like his father Adam way better. Adam is in this episode also. In general, Abel's pretty nice. I feel like he's just going to be a coward from what we've seen. At least he doesn't like confrontation, doesn't like war and stuff like that. All in all, there's all that stuff. It's also, we get to see more of the... it's onto my tongue. The guy who keeps the gate. So, I can't say his name right now. I just can't think of his name right now. The guy who keeps the gate. Sir Peter, or something like that. Either way, we get to see more of him, which was nice because the thing we got, he was only in the Welcome to Heaven song, if I remember, and also just the first introduction to heaven, so that was nice to get to see more of him. Adam's return was also done really well, with Luke basically breaking down, and there's a slight smile when she thinks Adam's alive when she sees him, and then obviously, she just says, "I'm in your head," and there's also the scene where Luke may or may not have a one-side crush. People think Luke and that was only command stuff, but from what Luke said, I forgot to tell you, I couldn't tell you, and then Adam says, I know, and then he obviously backtracks because, he only knows what Luke would know. It does sound like Luke cared for Adam in a romantic way, but Adam never saw it that way. We will see in a future episode. I may make a video on it. Probably will, to be honest, because it was only theorized before, and people didn't really have a confirmation. People weren't confirmed on it. We also get Serpentious' backstory with how he basically saw someone get murdered and he was a coward to do anything about it, and basically he kept looking out the window, to be fair, kind of a creeper back then, but he saw someone get murdered, and then that same murderer went on to do 5 different things. He never told anyone about it, never told the police, never told anything. He basically hid the cowardice. I don't know if that's worthy enough to be sent to hell. but either way, that's the reason he got sent to hell. This begs the question if, like, from what I can tell, you have to redeem from your past sins. So depending on what you did when you got to hell, what made you get to hell and why you end up in hell anyway, you're saying you have to redeem that. It's not the fact that Serpent just died, from what I can tell. It's the fact that he died while also, like, basically not being a coward. Like, he stopped being a coward completely, and throughout the whole season 1, I would say he wasn't really a coward. He, standing up for himself decent bit anyway. But yeah, throughout basically the whole season 1, he kind of wasn't a coward, I wouldn't say. So obviously him sacrificing himself for his friends made up for his past mistakes and past misdeeds. Luke doesn't agree with it and is in an angry fit. We get Gravity. Sarah's confession was also really great. Also, we get basically Serpentius. Well, Emily basically makes these random egg boys for Serpentius. They are not like, I don't think they're the real egg boys. They're like basically things that Emily created to make Serpentius feel more at home. Also, there's this one scene where I was like, oh my god. Serpentius tried to shoot himself in the head. Well, like, there was a scene, welcome to heaven, not welcome to heaven, but like, basically, no one here is like you and stuff like that. And he tried to shoot himself because there was no way to go back to hell. From what I can tell, Serpentius might try and go back to hell, because there's a scene what we know of that he's like in hell. So I don't know if that's a flashback, a sing-along, or like a song, or if he actually manages to go back to hell and maybe gets more sins added to his name, because he seems like he wanted to go back to hell and he tried, but he obviously failed in the song and all that, so we don't really know. And all said and done, Sarah ends up closing her gates because she done bad things, and now she wants to close it to see to be fair, what I really weird about is, like Luke said, they murdered Adam. They murdered one of us. You go down there every year to kill sinners, and you're saying they're bad because they're defending themselves. And you literally you guys are the reason that happened. It makes, it makes sense from her point of view because of arrogance and stuff like that. But at the same time, from any logistic person outside of heaven, you could say, they would easily argue that literally that was self-defense. Maybe not then. To be fair, the rest of the people were going to let him live, right? Adam literally got himself killed by staying there and trying and saying, I'm Adam. Everyone came from me. And then Nifty stabbed him. I do wonder if Luke will end up trying to kill Nifty. Like, maybe not even seriously, but like, because Nifty wasn't at the general cause he died. Like, everyone else basically weakened him, obviously, to that extent. So maybe he'll try to kill Nifty in general just for the reason Adam died and got stabbed, right? Also, there's a scene where Abel tries to get his guitar before Gravity starts, a guitar from his dad, right? And basically, Luke just says, get out, and then shouts at him, and obviously Abel, being a coward, literally leaves and breaks the guitar anyway. Like, come on, why the heck are you breaking stuff in someone's office, okay? It makes you're literally going in there to destroy an office. Honestly, this episode, like I said, I enjoyed this episode more because it expands more in heaven, and I really enjoyed how the speaker of God was really great, all that angelic stuff. Sarah's confession was also perfect with her regretting her past actions and saying how many souls that they've killed have obviously, could have been redeemed, could have actually been saved, because she obviously thought that these were never going to be opened and stuff like that. All that. Honestly, this episode is really great. Like I said, I enjoyed this better than the last one. Because the last one was like just Vox and basically, Hazbin tells like parallels. They basically sing together, and then obviously their plan, and Hazbin tells, getting more popularity, and obviously more people going away from Hazbin. That was episode 1, basically, in a quick summary. And this is obviously all about heaven, and Serpentius, it was honestly great to see him after a year and a half. Oh my god, I'm so happy to be back, and Hazbin content. Yeah, definitely. Also in this review, there'll obviously be pictures instead of like clips, because, well, I don't want to get copyrighted by Prime for showing a whole episode. I know the likelihood of them doing that, striking that out, because the episode's officially out, is highly unlikely, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Plus, it's hard to find clips. I have Prime, of course, I watched it on Prime, but you can't really screen record that on Prime or on my phone. So yes, it's hard to do all that. all said and done, my favorite thing about this episode has to be Sir Pentious is in the song. Honestly, he was so great. Sir Pentious in that song where he was singing and basically wanting to go back to hell is great. I kind of want him to go back to hell, but I also want him to stay, so it really depends. But also, like I said, basically, Emily ends up going to hell to tell Charlie what happened or what's happening, and basically that was the end of episode 1. So it ends in kind of a cliffhanger, but we already know what happens there. And then next episode, I would assume, is Charlie telling everyone that Sir Pentious actually got redeemed and redemption is possible. With Alistair maybe feeling like everyone has a chance, maybe Alistair actually lets it in. I doubt Alistair or anyone else will be redeemed like that. But my best bet to be redeemed is Baxter. But at the same time, all in all, I don't see them doing the inventor, scientist one again. I feel like it's too obvious that Baxter will be the one to be redeemed. Maybe they will, I don't really know. All said and done, this episode, honestly, way better than the last episode, like I said, personally to me. Vox's songs in the last episode was great, and Vox's character in the last episode was great. But I like this overall episode. I feel like the pacing was great this episode. So I'll give it a 10 out of 10 episode. Last time it was a 7.5 for the episode thing. That was just because I didn't get into it. I was smiling the whole thing, but that's because I really enjoy Hazbin. This episode is a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Of course, you can agree or disagree. We have 3 songs. And we have the whole heaven. Looking at that, we have 3 songs. Of course, Sarah's Confession, I think, is probably the shortest song in the series. I could be wrong about that. I don't know, but it seemed like the shortest song in the series. But all in all, we have 3 songs. There's nothing bad about that. We have 3 songs, and the whole episode itself was really great. And I feel like the songs in those areas was perfect to have. We have Gravity, which is a fire. All the songs in this episode are fire, in my opinion. Some more than others, but they were all great songs. And that's just that's Hazbin. I feel like Hazbin, the songs don't carry the episode, but at the same time, the songs go along with the episode. They definitely add points to my rankings of the episode, but they don't carry the episode. Unless the episode itself was really long and really dread, and the songs do carry. But it really depends on the episode. Okay, that's just my overall thoughts on this thing, and I will talk about Sir Pentious' backstory in a later video, in a different video, just to go over it a bit more, just because, well, why not? We have a week to talk about all this stuff, because the next 2 episodes should be releasing next week, hopefully. I mean, they should be releasing weekly. Some people may think it's better to have 1 episode every week, which, yeah, it will be better, because Hazbin thing runs longer. But at the same time, it's you're just waiting longer. It's not you get Hazbin content every week, I guess. But at the same time, yeah, I feel like I prefer it being 2 episodes. But I can definitely see why people would just want it 1 episode, because it gives you more time to theorize, make ideas, make content like me, I guess, right? And all that good stuff. And Hazbin content will be alive for about a month or 2 months, right? Overall, I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. Like I said, a 10 out of 10 episode, and without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe, do all great stuff, and tell me in the comments how you guys like this episode. Without further ado, bye.
One thing I forgot to mention while recording the video, I literally just realised by getting screenshots for this video in mid-editing, I'm recording this on my phone right now, is that Lilith does appear at the end of the episode, and this takes place when Charlie was calling her mom in episode 1, because she was calling her and Liv cuts her off, and there's obviously a bunch of missed calls and stuff. It's hard to say whether she just doesn't care or whether she has a reason or whatever. Right now, it just looks like she kind of doesn't love Lucifer anymore and stuff. I'm not gonna judge it right now because I don't know, but just judging by this scene, it feels like it. So I don't know whether I like Lilith as a character or not, whether she's just gonna be there, and whether she just doesn't like Lucifer anymore, doesn't do that and all. At least answer your child's fault. She's been calling you for 7 years, and all you do is cut off and just face it down, and then just start enjoying your life in heaven. I just want to know how deal they made with Adam and stuff, or why that happened, and why Lilith has not even told Lucifer of this, because I feel like Lucifer would know, but then again, it seems like he doesn't. So yeah, it really begs the question on whether she still cares for her family or not. I just want to talk about this quickly before the end of the video.